Warriors, good turnaround Tuesday to you, everybody. Um, the headline to this stream is the dollar is threatening a breakout. So, we got long dollars last week down in this area, pitched half yesterday. We'll have a breakout over, looks like 880 to be sure. And you know what? That's an add-on position on a breakout. In fact, for a lot of people, classical technicians, they're probably not even getting long until we do this. So, we caught this pullback to be long before the breakout. You could add on the breakout. Just individually, when you look at the euro, um, it tried to rally yesterday, had this nice little bounce, and now we're back here. Could it rally again? Hey, you know what? If it rallies to 1830, I'm a seller. Could happen. But I would say the fact that it gave this rally back, and you know how I look at support zones that are tested more than twice, the more they're tested, the weaker the foundation is. So actually, this breakdown, if we get it's going to target about 114 in euro. And if this is after this breakout, in the dollar, if we're going to 101, 102, we're most likely going towards at least 112 in the euro, maybe 110. So still could be a big trade. Similar situation in cable. This was a pretty weak rally. So, to me, it looks like a flag. I thought there was a possibility, maybe there still is, that we could get one more rally, just like I'm talking about in the euro, back above this high at 5.5. I'm a seller because longer term, if I'm right about a dollar, 101, 102, that's going to give us 130 cable. Okay, that'll be a big trade too. So the yen continues its move to the upside. But keep in mind, for a long time, I've been talking about 152-ish. I couldn't buy this break because could have gapped the other way. But up here, I think that's going to be it for the yen. So this dollar rally, we'll see if we could get the breakout. I do want to point out what's happening in the gold silver ratio, which I was talking about a potential bottom last week. That's the daily right there. So we're starting to come out of the hole. I'm not looking for a new bull market, just a bear market rally to 86, which implies that gold will be the relative strength and silver the relative weakness, which is being expressed here today with gold making new highs up $14 and silver diverging, the weak sister down 18 cents with gold up 14. So if I think there's more left, another 400 points. In fact, I had a few silver trades. Had a bad trade Sunday night. I have to stop putting on positions overnight where I sold the silver and it, gave me one more wave up. It picked me up, but then I came in and I sold it twice, once for 18 cents, and then put out another sale when it rallied back towards 58. Yesterday wasn't exactly the high, but it was, in this range, 58. And last night, if you were awake from that 58 sale, uh, the low was 770. So that was a pretty good trade, about 85 cents if you were up in the wee hours. Still up 26 cents on it, but I'm going to stay with this. I think that we're peaking. I thought it could happen on the super moon, the harvest moon. That's what I was talking about, harvesting profits, just taking something off the table. It's not a profit till you take it. And then I'd go one step further, that after you book some profits, that you actually withdraw some money from your trading account and be good to yourself and your family and enjoy it and spend it on something to make it real. Okay. When they're in your account, they're digits. Same thing in Vegas. You're not laying out the cash. Okay. So I think it's a good practice. It's a reward for the hard work. This is not easy. So when you have it, um, enjoy it too. All right. So I'm going to hold the silver short. I think that there's a potential top ahead, and I think there's several dollars to the downside. In fact, maybe I'm being premature in saying this because, it's not the end of the bull market. Just like the dollar is a correction, silver will be a correction. The reason I think it's going to be sharp is because it's parabolic and crowded. Okay, so once some momentum starts taking out some moving averages, people will, clear out of it. I think you'll be able to buy it in the low 40s in a few months, maybe even under 40. So I think $40 is a good spot. It's about a 20% decline. All right. I also wanted to cover Bitcoin. So that's something else. Everything's been going up, right? It's a everything bubble, everything bull market. So that's why, if you're long anything, you should be making money. But that's why you trim during harvest time and you put some in the silo. You could hold your positions, even unhedged if you want, but you can't just leave your crop out there all year round. You need to harvest it and put it in a silo, so it doesn't rot in the fields like what's happening to our farmers, which I feel terrible about. There's going to be so many bankruptcies. These guys are letting their beans rot in the field at the beginning of potentially a bull market in grains, and a lot of them are going to be bankrupt because they don't have a market because China's not there. Hope that changes. It's one of the toughest jobs in the world. So I did want to show you something else that's had tremendous performance, and it's already failing from when I was talking about it earlier. But check out this formation in Bitcoin. Do you see three drives? One, two, three. So I'm also going to teach you how to trade it because you don't just I do it because I hear the ice crack. I would try and sell it on this blue candle. But what you really should do to have a higher percentage of success is after the third drive, wherever it is, whatever the time frame is, you need one red candle, and that's your signal. That's your trigger. One red candle after a three drive. And then you put your stops, give it some tolerance over the high in case you even get another stab up there. But this is a three drive, and it could be short and look for 120 wrong over the highs. And if it gets through 120, you're probably talking 118, 116. So that's not great action. This was a beautiful move. It sure caught me flat-footed. Down here, I was thinking 100K. Anyway, big explosion in crypto last week. Everyone's bullish. Just like everyone thinks they could be long bonds because the Fed is cutting, right? So when I look at the TLT, here we are again. It's trying to hold the breakout. See that? And you're getting a pretty good bounce. But again, once I talked about support zones, and the more they're tested, the weaker the foundation. This is the third test. If we ever close under this level, it measures 86. Okay. So careful with that. Let's see what else. Silver making new lows now. Gold even coming off. So if silver's down 26 with gold up 10, How much lower do you think silver would be if gold was down $20 by the end of the session? And maybe we'll find out today. Okay. So just like euro pound is very important for trading cable and trading euro, having a direction that you think it's going. I now think it's going down. I think that was the top. We never even made new highs. That kind of surprised me. We didn't make new highs, but this looks ugly on a daily. That I mean, under here, it opens the door to 85, which means your preferred short now is euro, not cable. Um, okay, when this was going up, cable was your preferred short. So um, you need to know this for trade selection. It's like the American Idol. Their big thing is song choice. If they choose the wrong song, it doesn't fit them, their performance is affected. With us, it's trade selection. So you could be right about the direction of the dollar, but you have to also diagnose the relative strength, relative weakness. And that's what the gold silver ratio does for you. All the way down from here, silver's been outperforming gold. Okay. So just looking for a little turn of the worm for a little bit. I have a great interview lined up. People have been asking me under the videos. Yesterday, someone asked me, and I'd already planned to bring Peter Goodburn on. He's a great Elliottician. The guy is like a mad scientist with his work. You know how many charts he has and the work he does. So I haven't had Peter here on TGH for a while. And besides markets, we're going to talk about what has happened to us in our. We've had both had pretty long journeys in the business because part of trading is self-discovery. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. I know we're all trying to discover the treasure chests, but you learn an awful lot about yourself when you put yourself in this situation about your character. Anyway, so that's a wrap. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy.